people who are going to suffer are going to be Latinos. Maybe I'm wrong. Hit me up, 262-202-5131. Let me know if I'm wrong. Because I want to hear y'all's opinion. I want to know how we feeling going into this situation. We are going into the second term of Trump, and these executive orders had Biden and the Republicans made such a mess out of things that it need to be straightened. I would say yes. I would say I don't think, I think the Democrats was doing okay, but I don't think they was running this country efficiently. If they were, then maybe inflation and like the cost of living is super high right now. You know what I mean? Like we're in multiple wars overseas when we have people suffering here. We're sanctuary states here, welcoming people to come here and allocating money. Like my brother always likes to say, this money is allocated, but then the money that, the way it's allocated is an issue. So all that's what it is. That's the business of the business that's always been with the United States government, managing the economy, dealing with, GDP and stuff like that. But law and order is, law enforcement here is there's always this kind of static, because you give a human the right to regulate other humans based on some laws that who made up? I'm just saying. I'm not telling you some of those laws. It's not just the police saving your life. Okay, they put their lives on the line. They do things, but then there's this way that they're able to kind of circumvent. Like, so, Dre, how you doing, my brother? How you doing? Glad to have you with us tonight. Shout out to you. Dre's been with us a long time. I love it. Earl Henning, he said, new wall I see. Hey man, just changing some things. Like I said, this show will look different in 6 months. It won't even look anything like this. I promise you. It won't. And it'll be presented differently. I told you. That's why I say hit the Cash App. Like I'm playing with house money over here. So my whole studio changed. You'll see. A said, me as an FBA don't trust nobody. I feel like they're trying to erase us. I don't think that they're trying to erase us. How can you erase us? There's no, you can't erase. If you erase us, you erase a whole lot of history, a whole lot of American history. We do designate February as Black History Month, but we know and we say Black history is 365 days a year, because any given day you can find something that a Black man did on any given day. You say, I didn't know that shit. And then you shouldn't trust anybody. Why would you put your trust in anybody? Like in terms of these politicians and you don't even know these individuals. Never met them. They never met you. They're supposedly speaking for your best interest, but they have no idea who you even are, what you're going through. So yes, you should not trust anybody. If you were a Republican, I would say you shouldn't trust anybody. I think one thing about it is it's not progressive for us to get involved in their business too deep. Meaning, yeah, you can go and vote and you can represent a political party, but you're never going to get the same rights they get. There will never be total equality. There has never been a society that had total equality. Everybody got along. There was no crime. It's never happened. So if that's what you're looking for, then you're going to be disappointed multiple times. You should be a realist. You should be saying, I want to see what's best for the people being done. But I do hear you on, why are you attacking critical race theory? That kind of shows me the power of information. Because how many Black people read something or learned something they didn't know and just totally changed their trajectory in terms of overcoming and not ending up as a statistic or what have you. It's happened a million times. It happens all the time. That's kind of like the nature of it. So why are you going after that? Critical race theory has done what to you? And how does it threaten you? Please don't sell me that narrative on white kids feeling guilty again. Listen, these white kids won't feel guilty. I mean, they're already emo enough. They're more worried about you and your parents. What did you do? So yeah, hit me up, man. It's like I said, it's how do you feel about the Trump thing? And I want to talk about the rappers who or the entertainers who have now come out and started to say, okay, we're gonna ride with Trump. Right? That was something that happened prior to the official inauguration today. What we had some rappers, some hip hop artists, Snoop, Rick Ross, and Nelly and Soulja Boy. I want to make a couple points about this whole thing. First of all, this was not an event that Trump was at, right? Which makes it silly in a bunch of different ways. But it's also, I don't know that Trump called them on the phone personally and said, hey, why don't you come do a show? Because if so, he'd have probably been there. So obviously this is, I got a phone call and they said, come do a show. People is pissed off. I want to talk about the rappers. Snoop first and then Nelly. But I do have Dion on the line. Dion, what's popping with you, man? How you doing tonight?
Hey, man, happy Monday, man.
Yes, sir.
You already know how I'm doing, Kev. I was on your line. I forgot you said I got fat fingers. I can't text like that. But on love, though, bro, it's like, that damn near needed to be an emergency outlaw on, like, what the fuck? But, remember that one time, what was that, about 2 months ago, when Snoop was here, and I guess Potawatomi gave him some money, and Milwaukee gave the key or whatever, and I was like, I forgot the word that I called him, though. You know what I'm saying? But he just, I just feel like sometimes when those guys reach a certain pinnacle in their career, they forget about who they once were, And
okay.
I just feel like I lost a lot of respect for him.
Okay.
I don't think no black person, especially coming from where they came from. Snoop used to be a Crip. He was on trial for murder, all type of shit. Like if he would have been convicted, he would have been in prison probably to this day with Suge Knight, because he kissed Martha Stewart ass and hang out with people that wear sketches and stuff. I guess he's socially accepted by the whites, but I don't think, sometimes it's just best to respectfully decline.
Okay.
He could have he didn't need the money. He didn't need the money. Right, he don't.
Right. Okay. So which doctor just walked in? Which doctor, you good? Can you hear me? Let's do a sound check right quick. You good? Everything's
Everything good. Everything good. I think I'm still freezing a little bit.
Okay. Because sometimes you had a delay, and I always be like, man, let's make sure Kamar don't have a delay because we end up talking over each other. So welcome to the show, my brother. How you doing? Everything's there. Happy MLK Day. How you doing?
Everything's everything. Happy Michael King Day.
There you go. Martin's rap name. Yes, sir. Okay, so let me say this about America, Black America, foundational Black America. Are you disappointed that somebody who you thought was one way turned out to be another way, like different? Like I feel like we, just because, especially with our artists, man, because our culture is so important. And Snoop is one of those artists that you look at like he changed hip hop, he changed it. And you say, well, he don't need the money, but the reality is you don't know Snoop personally. You really don't know what kind of person he is. You love his music. Oh, wow. He might be totally different in person. You don't know him, but I understand the disappointment. I will say this about Snoop. I think that based on the fact that they put the whole video up of him saying all this shit about, who's going to be the jigaboo and all this. And then for him to what he did was he didn't do like a big concert. He played his music and he was the DJ. Right. And Trump, from my understanding, was not there, but it was a Trump-esque event. Right. It was him. So, yeah, I think whatever backlash Snoop gets from this, he deserves it. But also ask y'all this. When the last time y'all bought a Snoop album?
Right.
Listen,
I was watching a video. I was watching a video today, and that was something like that's what somebody was kind of alluding to that, right? They were saying, when he was young, we all had his back. We was buying his shit. You know what I mean? We watching MTV. We doing all the shit for the rappers and all that type of stuff. But then when you get to a certain level, he got to another level to where now he winning awards and doing shit, you know what I mean, in the movies and doing all type of shit, the Martha Stewart shit, and you know what I mean? Now it's like, it ain't about our money that he get. He going to get their money.
Yeah, he's career-wise, he's in a different stratosphere.
Now,
right?
I ain't saying it's right or wrong.
No, it's no excuse. It's no excuse.
I'm just saying that that's what, you know what I mean? That's what they were saying on a video. They were saying that, well, he after their bag now.
Well, the truth is,
I don't know.
I don't
know what the agenda is.
Snoop really hasn't had a hit album. We ain't gonna talk about songs, a hit album since Doggy Style. I should say classic album, because he did have some platinum albums after that. But nothing is on the level of Doggy Style or what he did on The Chronic, right? So
he be having some features though with other artists.
But it's once again, I'm saying as a legacy artist, I understand him saying, well, shit, it ain't like if I put out an album, you gonna go buy it. So fuck you. I gotta go get my money from other places. And it is a fuck you, but to me, it's a two-way fuck you. Like when somebody say fuck me, I say fuck you too. So I don't have an issue with it. You know what I'm saying? So by him doing what he did, he basically said, fuck you. Now Snoop has done tremendous work in the community. His philanthropy is off the chain, though. You got to give him credit for that. Go ahead, Kamar.
Hey, I watched Nelly do a real coonish video though.
I was gonna get Nelly next, but go ahead. I was
okay. I'll wait on you. I'll outlaw for you.
No, the top is off. Go ahead, man. Because you know what? Okay, so first of all, let me say shout out to Willie D, because I think Willie D pulled his club Shay out his ass by having Nelly on right off the top of the year, right at the inauguration. Hot as shit, right? Because we didn't get Cat Part 2. It wasn't. Willie caught Nelly right fresh off the bakery. Now listen, Nelly. Is Nelly in anybody's top 20? Listen, I've had so many conversations about hip hop, right? And we talk about MCs, right? We talk about rappers who had runs, who sold records. I've never heard nobody.
Bro, that ain't got nothing to do with this, though.
No, it does. It does for me. It does for me. It does for me. That's what I'm telling you why. So nobody's ever said, Kev, you know who Cole? And I said, who? And they said, man, Nelly. So that means Nelly is not, he shouldn't even be taken as a real MC. He's not a real, so we're giving him this respect. Oh, you're a rapper, you one of the big dogs, but he's never been considered a great MC. Well, so I expect this from him. I expect this from somebody like him. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I was looking at it more as he's a black man. I was looking at it more as he's a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a black man. And I wasn't even judging him for making a decision that he made, but it's just his reasons. Sound like a bunch of bullshit. It sounded like he was cool.
I guess I took it from the perspective of why we even care what he says anyways, because people regard him as one of our big. That's why I'm saying that for me is not even in the puzzle. Then like you acknowledge, no matter what he said, he is a black man. I mean, you can't take his blackness away from him. Right. But he did sound like a bumbling idiot on Willie D's podcast. He sounded like it was like what, Nelly, for real? Like,
and I wasn't even listening to judge you, but he made me judge you.
You said what the fuck, Nelly? He said what, Nelly? Go ahead, Dion.
What make you think that man racist?
Ask that question too. Go ahead, Dion.
That man racist.
I don't think Bull could hear us that good.
I think he might have a delay. So, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Nelly, he couldn't articulate it. He couldn't articulate it well. But whether it's Nelly, Snoop, see, the thing is how I look at it, right? These black men talk about the culture of life. Like, look at Rick Ross, who he's named after. a famous drug trafficker from South Central LA, Freeway Ricky Ross. That's who he took his name.
Noriega plug.
You know what I'm saying? So Snoop Dogg, what he always talk about banging Crip, this, that, and the other. Now, don't get me wrong, Nelly might not be one of the top 5 MCs that we'll name out, but I like his music, Pimp Juice. He made me want a motherfucking 76 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. You know what I'm saying? Air Force One, Grill,
Hey, I
Country Grammar.
A bunch of Nelly for a while.
Country Grammar. It's a lot of Batter Up. It's a lot of songs that he made that I like and still will bump this day. You understand what I'm saying? So me, like Bull said about just being a black man with some integrity. You feel what I'm saying?
Why do you think he had integrity? What about him?
No, I don't think he didn't have any integrity because he know what Donald. There's no way in the world where anyone could be living in this day and age don't know what Donald Trump stands for, don't know what he says about blacks or either people of color. So by him knowing what Donald Trump stands for, all those guys that we named, he should have respectfully declined the offer.
Hold on,
it wasn't about it.
Hold on once, Dion. Let me keep this chat room in this conversation. Shabaka said they jamming my feed. Y'all can hear me, right? If anybody can't hear me, let me know. I know it wasn't on YouTube. It should be up on YouTube right now.
Yeah, you're on YouTube now.
If you can't hear me, please let me know. It shouldn't be no problems because everything is a go on my end. He said, this is Jesse Parrish. He said, Nelly, Snoop Dogg scratching his head. Said, Nelly not in his top 20 or 50. I know. I just had to throw that out there. It don't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China to probably other people, but to me it does because, like I said, why does your opinion matter anyways? Like, it's just because you were a rapper and made these songs. But let me finish the chat room. He said he claimed to have beaten KRS-One in a battle. I remember I am number. Yeah. He said, yeah, he did look funny in Willie D Live. He did say he didn't get any of the $1.5 million. Said Rick Ross is a former correctional officer. Dre Day said Nelly had a good decade. When he was on top, he was in top 10. Really? Okay. CC Lynette said they wanted that check. Jesse Parrish is naming off his songs. He said, yes, I can hear you on YouTube. Okay, so let me just say this about his songs. I hear y'all. But I think, once again, this was me who said it. So what I'm looking at is that whole time period was not one of my favorite time periods anyways. As a matter of fact, you hear me talk about how trash the music was, and I didn't never think, like, I thought Ludacris was 10 times better lyrically than Nelly. This is just me mixing hip-hop in, y'all. We ain't even got to the root of the discussion. I said that because even those songs he made, it's like, okay, well, you know, Hammer made a bunch of songs, but they wasn't lyrically tight. They had a bunch of hits. There's been a lot of rappers who've had a bunch of hits, and I'm like, well, that's not lyrical. That's not a piece of art. Like, that's just a rap hip hop by the numbers. You know, just add water. I just felt like that whole era was garbage. So some of the, you know, he got some songs that okay, whatever. But Hope, he said, show me proof that Donald Trump is a white supremacist. This is the question I want to get to. He said, show me proof. Even said, well, Willie D said, well, I wouldn't go perform at a Klan rally. He said, well, this ain't a Klan country. He said he did this because if brothers and sisters can go overseas and die and fight in the military and get a life up for the country, he can perform for Trump. He said this is an honor. But Trump wasn't even there. But Trump wasn't there. He wasn't there. He didn't perform today. He performed Thursday. Was he at the inauguration?
This ain't the election. This ain't the election. We are one country. We are one United States now.
He sounded just so, it sounded like he was dancing, Kamar. I heard a violin, and maybe this was just subconscious.
It sounded like he had white lips.
It was just like,
he sounded like he had white lips with a black face.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I think like he had a black face. You don't really.
So
I think if a person really don't know nothing about politics and how things work, they really shouldn't really comment on. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard a motherfucker last night said, that's like I just heard you read in the comments, a motherfucker said, yeah, it's gonna be an end to all this woke. Like, do you know what you're saying?
Well,
it's
that's well, you see, you going deeper because first of all, I wanted to start with the fact that why I feel like Trump is a racist, right? Because I was answering the question. I felt like Willie D knew he had a hot one, so I felt like Willie D just let him talk. Like I'm like Will, I know you don't agree with this shit, but I feel like Will was doing Shannon. Like, what you say, Cat? Cat, what you say? Cat, you a fool. That's why everybody got mad at Shannon. It was like, you just let this nigga say all this shit.
So what do you think? So what do you think about the people out there that would be saying you acting like a coon?
But Nelly was like, whoa, that's what we're doing.
Well, sir.
Nelly was, whoa, that's what we're doing. He said, look, I ain't no politician. This ain't campaigning. Nelly was buck dancing. He deserves so many awards.
Like
let me go back to the chat room. Jesse said I was in high school in that time period, and I had all of Luda's albums as well, and I met him. Yeah, I was grown, man. I was over the, you know what, Kamar? A lot of this stuff I talk about because I was grown. When this music came out, like I was over 25, working, had kids and shit, and was like on some grown. I wasn't. There was fairy tales to me. That's pop songs, right? And if you want to go and take a ride with me, it's cute, but that's not hip hop like that. That's just, you know, something you can leave playing when the kids in the car with you. So I'm getting away from myself again. Let me get to the chat room. I wasn't in high school. I was a college grad. All that cash money. That's why a lot of that shit I'm like, that's trash, because I was on some other shit. Shout out to Byron Terry, man. It's good to see you, man. You haven't been around for a while. He says, salute black men. Trump officially says, fuck the police. With the almost 1,600 pardons of the January 6th insurrectionists. I mean, hostages. Yeah, you knew he was going to let his people go. He's the white Moses. Jesse said, well, that the laws he passed directly harmed us, FBA's, DOA's, Freeman, while he was in political office. He says they was at the crypto ball. Ruben Anderson, how you doing, my brother? Y'all share the show. He said, did you notice he acknowledged all his kids with the exception of Don Jr. He's trying to play it off, but Trump dissed him. I didn't watch it. I read the Cliff Notes. I didn't watch it. He said woke equal black. Yeah, that woke shit, we going to talk about that. Give me a second. Let me catch this chat room up. Trump was all up in the rap videos. Said Trump was all up in the video, in the rap videos, and in the songs. But yeah, rappers used to say his name. They done all hung out with him. They performed at his, come on. Ruben said they picked him to perform. It's getting hot in here. Oh, okay. Jesse said he grew up to the No Limit, Cash Money, Suave House, and Rap a Lot record era. Yeah, just give me Suave House and Rap a Lot. Leave the rest on the trash pile. That shit was garbage. But so listen. So we talk about why Trump. I think Trump number one is racist because it's guilt by association. Kamar. I think look at his cabinet, right? Look at the average, the average white person that votes for Trump is racist. Let's be honest. Not all of them, but have a conversation with the majority of MAGAs. They're racist. Inherently, they're racist. And they're racist because they could give a fuck less whether
go to a Trump town. Go to a Trump town.
It's racist. It's racist.
Go to a Trump town, see if they don't treat you funny.
Yes, it's his calling card. That's what his appeal to white America is. They recognize their own
energy. The energy is a racist. It's a racist energy.
Right. Look at his cabinet.
Racial energy.
Look at his
cabinet. Daddy was a Klan member.
Right.
What the fuck? Shit, we ain't gotta look at his cabinet.
Was it his granddaddy or his daddy?
It was his daddy.
Okay.
He wanted to walk in his father's shoes, you know, and people said even on The Apprentice, people that were part of The Apprentice, that they heard him use the N-word. You know what I'm saying?
So Dion, this is how you know Willie. This is how you know Willie D was holding back, because when Nelly said, "How is he a racist, a white supremacist?" Willie should have said, "He is the son of a white supremacist." How could he not be? If nothing else, he has the ideology. When he talks about wokeness and DEI, He's talking about taking rights from people. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the gender thing, come on now. I don't know if I don't think he's wrong with the gender thing. I don't think him saying, hey, it's only gonna be 2 genders in America, boys and girls. And you
Man,
won't
let people do what the fuck they want to do. I don't give a fuck how many genders it is. You know what I'm saying? Because that open the door for him to fuck with other people. Though. See, that's the whole thing that sometimes we be missing. You know, once they come from one group of people, you ain't far behind.
That also opened.
Go ahead, Kamar.
Well, that opened the door for us to get fucked with too. That opened the door for us to get fucked with too, like we getting fucked with. Like they pushing shit on us. Like
is the door closed?
Open the motherfucking door on everybody then.
Well, the door was never closed, was it?
That's one thing I want now. Huh?
The door it's never been closed on fucking with us. Like you said, y'all saying it opens the door. Right. I'm saying the door been open. They been fucking with us.
I open that motherfucker floodgate.
I'm talking about like against masculinity.
I just think it should be two genders. I just think because I think it's gotten way out of control with the bathrooms, and all of a sudden we got males,
keep it simple, man. Keep it easy.
Transgender males fighting women and all this kind of stuff that should just be no-brainers. Like I think that I don't disagree with him on that. I'm just gonna say
you got a penis or a vagina. You got a penis or a vagina. Ain't no in between.
Well, that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That's what I'm saying too. So you agree with that?
I'm talking about saying Dion was saying he don't care about none of that, whatever it is. I'm like, no, this shit is too complicated like that. Keep it simple. You got a dick or a penis. I mean, a penis or a vagina.
Okay. Let me get this. He says, I was in the Trump town called Austin, Nevada back in 2017. Hell, I live in the Trump state right now. They all voted for Trump. Byron, he said the average Trump supporter is uneducated. Remember, he said he loves the uneducated. Okay. Said Fred Trump was a brothel owner too, Dion. Is that his father? Joe Biden paid for a KKK member funeral and studied under several as well. Well, okay.
I don't knock him for owning a brothel.
Are we? Did anybody say that Joe Biden wasn't racist? I look at his cabinet. Joe Biden wasn't a hero for white people. Like, we wasn't. I think that's the point a lot of people miss when they keep saying we showed the Democrats something. Or I think that's the point that they point to is say we didn't like Biden as a candidate, so we didn't vote. But we wasn't voting for Biden. We
did he call black people some monkeys or some shit at one point?
Well, no, he said,
or did he say some racist shit or something a long time ago?
He said if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, which is what Nelly said. But Nelly was smart, actually. He threw some stuff out there that was Biden slander. But he said, did Trump do that? Oh, no, Biden did that. But Nelly, you still look like a barefoot buck dancer, man. Stop it.
Doing that shit. Just doing that even.
Yeah, I just.
Now you protecting them. You covering up for them.
I think, like, on my whole issue.
Okay, you can vote for them. You can vote for Dig this. How about this? You could be black and vote for him and have your reasons. Fine. You know what I'm saying? But don't act like he ain't racist. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying, Kev? Like, okay, if you got certain reasons for why you want to vote for him, fine. But when you talking to other black people, don't start talking that shit like he ain't racist. Prove it. What'd he do? Right. Come on, man. Goddamn, he racist against everybody but white people.
That's a good point that it's okay for you to vote. If you want to vote for him. Right. That's a good point.
What they call that? Cognitive dissonance or some shit.
Yeah, and don't come back now and start saying, well, he's not racist, but he is.
Yeah. Come on, man. Stop
that was the whole argument. That was the whole argument. They just don't want to admit that
that's what they voted for.
That was the whole argument that I had with us in saying that, hey, well, we're not going to vote for Kamala because she's not black. And I'm like, so the alternative is a white man who we know is a racist, but we're just going to dismiss that. And that's what we've done. We've kind of pushed that to the side. Now, see, who Ewok said one time on the show, we was white splaining. Like, and then Dion And some other individuals have said, well, Kev, you give white people a pass because I say know the history, know what's happened, and try to learn from it and move on accordingly. But ain't nobody talking about all these white people now, because this is the biggest pass given to say, oh man, he's not racist. Like, that's what, like, Nelly, see, I don't talk about what Soulja Boy said because nobody cares about Soulja Boy anyways, right? Like, who cares?
Damn, what did he say? What did he say?
He said he needed the money.
You all know he's stupid.
Oh,
but I did think Nelly had some sense. You know what I'm saying?
He seemed like he could have been. I think he went to get a check, man. The man just had a baby. I don't know if Nelly shows is selling like they used to. See, we keep assuming that these dudes is rich for life.
But Nelly just sold his catalog for $100 million.
That's true, but what was his debt?
And he didn't hit none of the guys. I don't know.
See, there we go.
Yeah, you're right.
See, we don't know.
He didn't hit none of the guys.
You hear that he sold his catalog for all his money, but first of all, you got to pay the government. And then whatever debt you owe for whatever bad business deals or what have you, you have to pay that as well as, and then your lifestyle. So that 100-something million could have ended up only got 12 million out of that shit.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, you broke 100 million.
But you, once again, Dion, you don't know his financial. For years I used to see this post about this mansion he had that he had bought in St. Louis, like $200,000-$300,000, and it was abandoned and he couldn't sell it because it was broken down. Nobody would buy it. And it's just you don't know how much of that shit sitting on his books. How much do we owe the label? Right? Well,
that's true.
All that shit. So we assume these dudes is rich. But you don't, they might need, hey man, them records don't sell no more. You got to shuffle. You got to dance, man.
And he about to get a residency in Vegas though.
Yeah.
So, but see now, this is what you have to understand though. Nelly crossed some of those songs, those old ass songs, hit with white folks. You hear white folks still saying, "Hey, what is it? I don't even know. I know
their favorite is just getting hot. It's getting hot.
Yeah, that hit. Or the country grammar, where they be like, EI. I don't know how that shit go, but when they be like Donald Trump, let me in. You know, some of those old ass songs.
Down, baby, yo, street in a range over, boom, boom, baby.
You see them awkward dancing ass motherfuckers. But my whole thing was, that's what it's really gonna boil down to, as we start seeing this administration. People can sit up there and say what they want about Joe Biden. But if we see, that's the thing about people, and I'll be steadily stressing it, you know, and you be like, nah, D, don't. If you're not educated, and as I tell people, I could go back to goddamn Nixon, Gerald Ford. Republicans have no policy. Now, we could go all the way back to them and name a policy that they put. They don't have no policy.
When have I told you not to say that? You just said I'd be like, no. Well, you know, I never told you not to. I never disagreed.
No, you don't.
What?
You don't be saying it like that though, but you be like,
blaming
Dion,
me for shit, man. Don't be blaming me for shit, man.
You'll be like, Dion, you can't assume that everybody don't know.
Not in regard to that, but you got to put it where it applies, not in that. I ain't never said, no, Dion, don't stop it. Don't talk about Republicans.
No, I know.
Like
I know. But see, and that's the thing though. We keep on sitting up here like Trump character is flawed, but he had no policy. And then we keep on, you know, we talk about the economy, but we was in a pandemic where how many people died and how many people didn't work. So all those people died were tax-paying people. I don't know the number of people, you know, maybe 1 million, 2 million. So it's 2 million people that's no longer paying into the tax bracket, into tax state and federal. I don't know, 1 million. I don't know how many people died.
We just can't throw numbers. Let's see.
You know what I'm saying? Then also we had a lot of people that chose not to go back to work. You understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of big companies. Like I asked my girl, shit manager at Walgreens. I was like, well, was Walgreens closing their stores before the pandemic?
Oh shit, you was more than right. You was more than right. Listen. Globally, 18.2 million people worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many people in the United States?
Let me look at that then. Let me see that then.
And then another thing, people act like other countries weren't going through a recession. Going through an inflation neither. So when you sit up and you're not educated, as you will say, just like you said, globally, France, Britain, India, all those people were going through inflation. We just wasn't the only ones going through inflation. But when you don't know that, and you have somebody get up on the stage and spit these false promises, you believe it because you want to believe it's something, especially if you're against one person. Because then people
1.2 million.
Okay, 1.2 billion people died. They can't pay taxes no more ever again in life.
Okay.
The United States of America missed that little money. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got people that think that the vice president has a role, the vice president don't have no role. They just a deciding vote and a placeholder.
But no, Dion, address the question though. Address what Nelly said. Why do you think Trump is a racist? Wow, how's he a white supremacist?
Well, I'll tell you the things that he said about, he called Africa shithole country. He's people that was part of the apprentice said that they heard him say the word nigger. Not only that, if you saying you grab a woman by the pussy, you don't think you would say nigger. You know what I'm saying? He said
none of that qualifies him as a racist. As a
that wouldn't hold up in the court of law. That wouldn't hold up in the court of law. You can't go in the court and say
the Haitians were eating people, cats, and dogs.
Okay.
See, we're not unless a person come. You know what I'm saying? Come out, which they have.
We gotta answer that, Dion. We have to answer that question. We can't listen. The whole world. As soon as Nelly said that, I've even seen people say Nelly smoked Willie D on that interview. I seen posts on YouTube that said that because because Willie didn't answer the question. He didn't answer.
So for somebody to say he got to actually come out and say nigger, he got to come out and say nigger. If he said nigger, would that make him racist?
Don't mean you racist. I think St. Louis is a shithole, but that don't mean I'm racist.
When he making policies, against African American people, when he executed 13 people, federal executions before he left office, do he got to come out and say nigger?
Well, no, he doesn't have to do that, but you have to show a pattern of anti-black behavior.
It don't have to be anti-black.
Okay, well, anti-whoever. Okay, so anti-whoever.
He talked about when he was first running for election, he called the immigrants rapists and murderers. How you just gonna put a title on people like that that's trying to come over here for a better life?
I still haven't seen white supremacists.
Well, a lot of them were.
Oh yeah, that's
some of them were rapists and murderers.
So Kamar, do you think he's a white supremacist? Do you think he's a white supremacist, Kamar?
I think he got some supremacist tendencies. You know what I mean? He do some shit like I do agree that he do say some foul shit, but a lot of the shit, like, okay, just because he against the immigrants don't really mean that he a racist. Like, really, he could just be like, he don't want a bunch of other people here. I mean, but then it could. Like, we really don't know him. His intent. We really have to know his intent, right? I'm talking about, like, I'm just saying that because off of some of the stuff we was just talking about.
I know,
like how y'all said that he called Africa and Puerto Rico a shithole country. Like, just saying the country is a shithole country don't mean that you racist against the country. Okay, like, I feel like St. Louis is a shithole city. You know what I mean? And as far as I know, it's a lot of black people there, but that don't mean I'm racist.
But there's a difference, Kumar, I think, in being a racist and being a white supremacist. Is it not? I mean, because is this semantics? Like, this is what I'm trying to get down to, because I can say
I think it's a difference. I do think you're right, Kev. I do think it's a difference with white supremacy.
All right, I'm about to come through with it.
So hold on. Just let me say this first, Dion. When I say white supremacist, then that means you are active. Like, just to be racist, you could be sitting on the sidelines and not ever do anything to, affect change or policy except hate somebody from afar. You're racist. You don't like people of color. You don't like black people. You don't like minorities. But if you're a white supremacist, you are actively engaged in behavior to counteract those other individuals. So you're trying. You putting messages out. You're appealing. You're writing policy because you are the president, saying, "I'm going to take this from this group of people. I'm gonna take this from them." So I would like to know, because like I said, I don't know about white supremacists, and I think that's what Willie D should have said was, hold on. Okay, so maybe he's not a card-carrying Nazi, like you said, Dion, but he is a racist. And ain't that good enough? Ain't that good enough?
But when he said that they're come over here and they're tainting our blood, that was something that Hitler once said too, about the Jews was tainting the German blood. You understand what I'm saying? You know, when he first moved in, when he first got elected, he was talking about people moving in certain neighborhoods, and he was talking about, he didn't have to say black people. See, that's the thing about it. We got to learn how to read between the lines. But that tainting the blood, that's white supremacy.
Hey,
when he was talking about
just let him finish. Let him finish, Kamar. Let's let him finish, because he'll be like, yeah, but
when he was talking about a lot of the white people that tried to enter certain universities, and people had got ahead of them and presenting them with reparations, that's supremacy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, when he said that certain people going to move into your neighborhood and it's going to make your property values drop, that's supremacy. Especially the one with the tainting their blood. Like, who tainting who blood?
Okay.
Who are you talking about?
But that's what I wanted to get at, though. That's what I want to comment on.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, like, that ain't, I don't think just because you feel like, okay, is it wrong? Are we being racist if we say, like, man, that black woman with a white man
fucking up the gene pool,
tainting our blood? You know what I mean? Or is that self-preservation or race preservation? Like, you could be pro-black and not be a racist.
Anti-white, right? Yeah, okay. So you be pro-white, not anti-black. You know what I'm saying?
I can be pro-black and not anti-white.
Yeah, we can. Absolutely.
It's okay with me wanting black women to be with black men. That's okay. It's okay with Italian men wanting Italian women to be with Italian men. That's okay. It's okay for Mexican men to want Mexican women to be with Mexican men. You know what I mean? They keeping their culture alive is what they doing. That's not being a racist.
That's not being a white supremacist.
Or a supremacist.
It's racist, but it's not a white supremacist.
It's not being a racist either, because I'm preserving my race.
Well,
ain't nothing wrong with that. That's pro-black.
Anytime, so I guess I'm looking at it like anytime I'm excluding another race. Like if I'm telling my daughter, I don't want you to marry a white man, it is a little racist of me. It is me saying I don't want white people.
Is it okay? I'm not saying not to do this. I'm not saying whether I'm for it or pro it, but I'm just saying, you know, or against it or pro, or for pro. But you know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like that's being a racist. Okay. How about this, Kev? I want my daughter. I prefer my daughter to come home with a black man and make a family.
Yeah.
That ain't being racist.
I think that
you know what I mean? I'm not against nobody.
I hear you. We've talked about that before, and like, see, that's the thing.
I think it's a line to draw somewhere from being racist and pro whatever you are.
But that's even more, Kamar. I think that's even less racist and more prejudice. Like prejudice, racism, and white supremacy to me are different things. There's levels to this shit, as they say. Like but prejudice is me saying I don't want you with a white man, right? But if my daughter come home, she come home with a white dude and I bust him in his shit. If she bring a white dude home and I bust him in his shit and say, get your white ass out of my house. Now I'm a supremacist. I'm a black supremacist. Because I'm willing to commit violence. I'm willing to go above and beyond.
This is the definition of white supremacy. The belief that white people constitute a superior race and should therefore dominate society, typically to exclusion and detriment of other racial and ethnic groups. Yeah, that's him. You know? Now we can sit up there and try to word it around and do all this and do all that, but we know. Just like Ronald Reagan.
Stop doing that. Stop doing that because what you're doing is you saying it ain't worth a conversation. You're saying we know. We don't. Obviously,
I'm
we don't
listening
know
to you.
because Nelly just said, "Show it to me." So obviously, we don't know.
I'm listening.
Nelly didn't know.
And then if a motherfucker, if he came out and said them goddamn niggers, then everybody used the N word. It's just,
I think that would have been a little bit different. Yeah,
it's locker talk between the boys. You know, no, I'm not giving fuck dude. I'm not giving him no pass.
Let me get my chat room. Let me get my chat room, Dion. Jesse said,
I don't think none of us giving him a pass.
He said, this is Jesse in the chat room. Said, my own thing is if they don't want us to be comfortable, then we can equally be uncomfortable. He's saying, period. Kamari was agreeing, which I'm a little behind, y'all, so bear with me. He said, so people think Joe Biden is less racist than Trump, Kev. I don't know why you would assume that. Jesse Perry said, the architect of mass incarceration since 1972. We know Joe Biden was one of, that's what people keep pointing out. Like he was one of the architects of the crime bill. I ain't gonna get going on that. I ain't gonna even get going on that. I guess, you know, we flash back to when it comes to celebrity.
Hey, didn't Joe Biden,
we always look at these celebrities to speak out for us for some reason. He came from the hood. Hey, so he gonna speak for me. And we get disappointed when they don't. So I don't think we should. First, let's just, okay, I'm with canceling Snoop and Nelly and Soulja Boy and Rick Ross. That's cool. I'm with that. I'm just saying.
About the racist shit with Biden.
Okay.
He called our kids. I just thought about the racist shit I was talking about earlier about Biden from years ago. Right. Remember, he called our kids some animals. He called them animals.
I remember that in terms
of black kids. He called them animals.
With school, with the school. Person, yeah.
It just popped up in my head what I was thinking about earlier, and I said I can't remember exactly what he said, but that's what it was, what I was thinking about.
Hillary Clinton.
But ain't nobody saying Biden ain't racist. Biden a racist bastard too. He just hide it better.
Is he not a white supremacist, Dion? Is Biden not a white supremacist?
He hung out with white supremacists, Strong Thurman, so he can have that ideology. You understand?
Well, he ain't on the same level as Trump. He's not a white, even though he wrote the crime bill.
I don't know for white supremacists. Hey, Kev, I don't know if a white supremacist will work under a black man.
Yeah, I believe that. He's like that goddamn nigga, and his name Barack.
But we just talked about white supremacists being more aggressive in terms of writing legislation and putting policy into place that will attack people directly, and that's what he did with the crime bill. So he would qualify more as a white supremacist than Trump would, wouldn't he? Since he's,
I guess, like you said, everybody wants
but like you said,
well, we did, but
hey, ain't white supremacists all about taking power too from other races? So how would he even be able to live with himself working for a black man?
I think he fell into a situation where they was like, nah, it's like when you undercover, right? And they say you second to the man, you gotta.
Yeah, the nigga moment then.
Yeah, well, shit, he ended up being president, right? Like, I don't know. I wasn't at the meeting, Kamar. They didn't call me, man.
I was just making a point because y'all was saying something about with the definition of white supremacist.
I think all of us need to ask ourselves that.
According to the definition of white supremacist, I don't think he would have worked for a white man.
Jesse's saying, I don't recall him passing laws that directly harmed us, and he did say we built this country and haven't received our proper recognition. I will give the orange man that. This is a chat room, y'all, so just bear with me. Said racism, white supremacy is thought, speak, and action against non-white people, according to Nellie Fuller Jr. and Dr. Francis Cress Welding. Let me catch it up. Damn, I'm real far behind. He said, what are y'all thoughts on Trump pardoning Jack Johnson and Biden pardoning Marcus Garvey? I thought Trump pardoned Marcus Garvey. I could have swore Trump did that. I'm pretty sure he did. No. I think he did before he left last time. Y'all check that fact, man. I'm just saying. I might be wrong. Saying it's getting hot in here. He's naming off Nelly's songs. They both are two sides of the same coin, Democrats and Republicans. Said Kamala had no policy. Dion, Trump has policy. I know because I covered this on my platforms numerous times. I looked at both of their websites, and up to before the election, Kamala had no policy in 2024.
Who's saying that? Who said that?
That's Jesse Parrish in the chat room. Hold on, before you respond, let me finish the chat room before you go crazy. He said, I'm educated and very well read, and I know U.S., African, and world history, geopolitical politics. He called Puerto Ricans a shithole country too. This is all Jesse Parrish. This is Byron Terry here saying, remember he point out one brother in the crowd and said, look at my African American. Yeah, he said black jobs too, right? Like, oh my God. He said, I have to watch the whole interview, only seen part of it. Yeah, Byron, he pointed at the black dude and said, look at my African American. That shit was hilarious. He said, what policies is he making? So what if you mean it doesn't have to be anti-black, Dion? How else can you prove he's racist? Just let me finish before everybody go jump out the window. Said, I agree, Kamari has some racist tendencies. He said, how can you prove someone is a racist or a white supremacist? Let me see. Let me know when you taking calls. This is Shabaka. And we gotta let Shabaka know when it's time to come on, because Shabaka goes, shit, I'm trying to get off the show. Shabaka be like, fuck that. You ain't getting off. I'm gonna keep going. You gotta let him know when to call. He said Musk is not an African, he's a Boer. He said a racist is a white supremacist. We think the only white supremacists are the KKK and the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. Now your teacher can be a racist white supremacist, your doctor, your lawyer, or your bank teller. He said it's a dog whistle of white water supremacy. I think he means white supremacy. A lot of people have a narrow and nuanced view of what a white supremacist is. Damn, I'm far behind. So look at the Allen Buck decision. Said we can't be racist, Kamar. We don't have any power over any institutions in this country. They confuse black nationalism with white nationalism. They are not the same. Okay. Byron is saying Willie D said on the movie Willie Dynamite, I like the competition. Then we referenced Willie Dynamite the other night. Kamara could have swore I did. I was talking about when Willie said that. When he said, I'm controlling some mean and aggressive animals. He said, this wasn't a problem. And dude said, what? He said, my bitches. And Liberty Bell said, you saying you can't control your bitches? Y'all gotta see the movie, man. She said, we can be racist against our own people. Okay. Jesse said, pro-black don't mean anti-white. Okay, I'm almost caught up. Y'all give me a second. I want to make sure everybody's heard. Okay. Let me go back. No, that was Sleepy Joe. Okay, so Joe is the one who pardoned Marcus Garvey. I thought he just pardoned him. I thought Trump did that a long time ago, man. Damn, where did
Bro, Marcus, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't give a fuck if they pardoned Marcus Garvey and Jack Johnson, any of them. They did. What the fuck are they gonna do with a pardon dead?
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Like, what the fuck is they gonna do with a pardon dead? Why ain't nobody
his whole family?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but you know what though, Kev, I'm not gonna, like, some conversations I gotta learn. Just you let people think what they gonna think, feel how they gonna
there
feel,
you go.
and just move on. You know what I'm saying?
Diplomacy.
It is what it is.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck. The only thing I want to say is when motherfuckers start suffering around here, then we'll figure it out. But to me, I feel like this: racist and racism. Racism is the institution. You can be racist. You can be a racist, but we don't have no power over the institution of racism. That's a whole different thing. So we can be racist because prejudice is prejudging somebody. I could be prejudiced towards you. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know you. I'm coming off this notion of like this bitch ass nigga, ooh. You know what I'm saying? So that's prejudging. But if I dislike somebody because of their ethnicity, I'm being racist. But as far as racism, yeah, we have no control over an institution of power. So therefore, that's why sometimes people be getting those things mixed up. You know, that's just like today I was listening. I can't think of what show I was listening to, but it was like, that's crazy. I was just listening to that show. I'm like, damn, like we got to prepare to be oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't that fucked up
I
though?
don't. Why are we preparing? Like, I keep. Okay. Let me just, because I keep hearing we keep talking about this finna happen, or we got to get ready for this, or if we don't do this, all of that shit's already happening and has been happening for years. That's why I asked y'all the question. Like, okay, I'm gonna say I agree with him on the gender thing, and people say, well, that opens up the door for him to fuck with us. Well, it's never been closed. And fuck with us from day one. Fuck with somebody else fuck with somebody else for a little bit. Leave us alone. He walks in the chat room.
Rights, though, bro.
He walks in the chat room. He said, black people killed me saying prove Trump is racist. Crazy work. How much proof you need? He says, how can you prove someone is a racist? I would like an answer. I know the answer, but I want to hear y'all thoughts. Let's dialogue. I just, once again, for me, it's differences. Like I said, I think he's definitely racist. I think you can look at how someone behaves. You can listen at what they say. You can watch what they do, where they live, who they associate themselves with, and say, oh, that motherfucker's a racist. I think you can definitely do that. That is my proof.
I remember my mom used to say, show me your friends, I'll show you you.
Right, but I can't prove, like when you say prove I'm a white supremacist, then I would have to investigate to see how you actually move. Now, when you meet up with them white dudes that you hang with, is y'all going out beating up black dudes? Is y'all going out, is y'all trying to put together policies so black people can't move in your neighborhood? Then I'll say, yeah, you definitely a supremacist, because you don't even want anybody else to have any opportunity. But for me, I just look at how you move and who you're associated with. It's not rocket science.
Now dig this.
That's what DI
now dig this. Every black person, every black man on this earth, I don't give a fuck if you like Trump or not, you done had a moment where you felt like somebody else was racist against you. You know what I'm saying? You always had that moment. So that's just you feeling like somebody is racist.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's how you know, nigga. That's how you know a motherfucker racist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know it. You know what I mean? Every black man know it. Stop acting like you don't know it. That be the shit. That's the shit we talking about now. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I could say somebody racist, but I'm telling you they racist from my experiences and what I've seen, how they made me feel.
So you saying,
you know what I mean? Now,
you're saying,
so I can't.
Say, how you know he racist? You say, because I said so. That's why he racist. Because I said he racist.
Pretty much, yeah. From in my perception, he's racist. If you don't feel like that, okay, you can say that. You know what I mean? Maybe it is. Just maybe that is what you see. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just prove a motherfucker racist, really, unless everybody done seen them do so.
Man, hide the camera.
Yeah, so like you can't just tell somebody, prove he racist. You don't even know that nigga.
I just think you should take, if I say that, you should take my word for it. As a black man, I know it when I see it. Why would you think I wouldn't? Yeah. Now, because there's some people who cry. There's some people who cry wolf sometimes. I will say this just to piss off some black people. There are some black people who holler racist, and it ain't racism sometimes. Sometimes it's just them on some bullshit. Like I've seen cats start a fight and say, man, he said nigga. And the white boy didn't really say nigga. He just wanted to fight, and he knew that would get everybody going. So yeah, that wasn't racist. The white boy wasn't racist. Maybe he was, Kamar, but he didn't say it. We used to see that all the time, man. When I was in school, man, brothers used to kick it off like, hey, kid, man, these white boys just call me nigga. It's like, what? Who? Where? Let's go. And they know, now you got backup.
I think it said what, who, where, let's go.
Let's go. Where, who, over there? Them dudes are, yeah, man, we finna go start some shit, man. We used to tear fights, bar fights, all kinds of shit. Just because somebody said, man, dude, call me a nigga. Who said that? He probably was lying. And I done been next to a cat before and said, dog, that dude didn't say nigga. It's like, I know, man, I just didn't like dude. It's like, yeah. So, yeah, you got assholes everywhere. He said, well, based off of your perception, all white people are suspected of white supremacists until proven otherwise. I think this comes down to, once again, everything that we talk about on this show, which is it's really up to you how you want to do it.
Who has that perception?
Well, that's what
that all white people
are white supremacists until proven otherwise. Jesse Parrish said that.
I feel like that.
I'm saying, but who we talking about? So I mean, who we talking
Oh,
about?
whose
Like, who
perception?
said
Oh,
my
okay.
perception is that all white people are suspected? Like, I don't think I heard nobody say that. Like, Kev, I don't think you said, you know what I mean, you think all white people are suspected white supremacists
No, I didn't.
until proven otherwise.
I think they're
No,
all
it's
prejudice.
usually
I think they're all racist.
and that's what I'm saying. But this is what I'm saying. Like, before any black man calls somebody a white man racist, it's usually something they done heard them say, seen them do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if we were saying earlier, we wasn't saying that he's a white supremacist. We were saying he's racist.
Right. That was my point. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And that's the difference. So, like, I don't know how he's saying that. Somebody was saying that my perception is that all white people are suspected white supremacists until proven otherwise. Nobody on the show said that, I don't think. Did they?
I don't think so. I mean, once again, he's summing up what he thought he heard someone say, but I can just tell you like this, Kamar.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to clarify.
I don't know. I'm sure he'll answer. I don't. My thing is, I think they're all prejudiced. See, I think all people are prejudiced.
All people are to a degree. And let's be honest. You know what I mean? First off, let's be honest with ourselves and answer these questions. You know what I mean? Let's be honest with ourselves.
I'm prejudiced. I can tell people.
We all are to a degree.
I'm not a racist, but I am damn sure I prefer the company of my own. I want to see us win.
I'm prejudiced to different attitudes and shit.
Racially, I'm prejudiced. I prefer if I could live in a beautiful black neighborhood, I'd say, hell yeah, let's do that. If I could see black people win in any kind of situation, I say, yes, I want that. But it doesn't mean I hate white people. It just means I love us. So I'm saying that's how I look at it. Let me see. Ewok says Trump said Byron Donald was one of the good ones. Which ones is he talking about? Good niggers, affable niggers, like Nelly and them. Jesse said, based off what you said, Kamar, I actually think that they are suspected white supremacists. He said, get them mad and you will see how racist they truly are, even the so-called cool or good whites.
Well, see, with that, and that right there, right. And see, I didn't say that was my perception. You know what I mean? I didn't say that was my perception. You know, I didn't say I think all of them white supremacists. I never said that. Because I don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that. I don't feel like they got to prove to me that they ain't. I actually hate when I feel like they trying to prove that they ain't. I hate that shit. Don't say what?
So check this out. It's even like, okay, if we put this in hood terms, every street dude ain't no gangster, right? It's levels to the shit. Every thug ain't no street dude. Like, right? Like, you got dudes who be in the streets, but they ain't no thug. They ain't no gangster. They just out there living. A gangster is different from a thug. So when you say you see certain dudes who in the streets, you say, man, that nigga was a straight up gangster. That means his behavior was a certain kind of way. Now you say he was a hustler. Right. It's a lot of hustlers who wasn't thuggish at all. They couldn't fight their way out of paper bag. That's why they hired muscle. Right? They wasn't gangsters. They was just hustlers. I ain't no gangster. I'm a hustler. You know what I mean? So that's why I look at prejudice and racism and white supremacy and all that stuff. I feel like there's levels to the shit. Like even with black, like you can be pro-black, right? You can be a prejudiced black person. You can be a black militant. You can be a black supremacist. You can. If you can walk around and say, I actually hate white people and I'm participating in things to offset their existence, you a black supremacist. It don't have the same weight. You don't got the same power. But you trying to be. He said, I want black people to prosper too. Shabaka said, how many black police officers have killed unarmed white people? Let's get the number. Let's get the number. It might be larger. It might be more than you think. Do the math before we throw something out there. Jesse said, live with them and then tell me how racist they are. I've lived with them, so I have firsthand experience living in close proximity to them and in the same household with so-called white liberals. I lived in communities with them.
Yeah, but see, hold on, Kev. See, that's the thing. Like, we ain't saying that they don't be racist. Like, we just saying that it's a difference between white supremacists and racists, right?
I think that's what we're saying.
And he talked. Yeah, you know what I mean. But it's different, like with Jesse comments, because he's saying racist now, and earlier it was. See, that's all we talking about. That's it.
Okay.
Right. Let's stop saying white supremacists, because that ain't. We wasn't trying to really go there, and it's. I'm getting confused and shit. You know what I mean? Trying to keep up with everybody talking about. And we saying white supremacists and racists, and then that's where I think he got mixed up when we was talking about it, because I wasn't saying I suspected. I mean, you know what I mean? I keep my eye on everybody. I watch everybody. You know what I'm saying? Trust is built. I don't give a fuck who you is. You know what I'm saying? Trust is built, whether you white, black, green, blue, or whatever.
I just look at it in terms of when you call somebody something, and I understand that. And I see what, once again, I think Willie D was holding back on Nelly because, and I'm going back to that, y'all, just for reference. I'm going back to that conversation because this is the root of why we got into this in the first place, because Nelly asked that question. Hey, how is he a white supremacist and this kind of thing? And he was arguing this is not a Klan country. Basically, Nelly was saying, I didn't hear him at one point say, no, this is a very racist, corrupt country, and we do have it hard, but hopefully this dude can change some things. I didn't hear him say anything empowering to black people. I guess that was kind of like my problem with Nelly. It came down to, I'm honored and I want to respect the office and all this. I didn't hear him say anything even about, hey, man, I feel like I'm representing. Like it was just nothing in there for us. That's why I say, well, that you're crooning, Nelly. You soft shoeing. Go ahead, Kamar.
You could just tell me, a black man could just tell me, I really think he's going to make it better for everybody. That's why I'm voting for him. Now, you could just say that because that's what you think. And cool.
But
you know
don't say he's not a racist. But don't say he's not a racist.
Don't say he's not a racist.
Right.
I just feel like he's going to make it better because they are racist.
There you go. Damn, you just stole my shit.
When slavery was legal, they all had slaves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a racist office.
We know that.
It's a racist office.
But just say you think he's going to make it better for the country.
You hope.
Just say that. This the one I hate.
And then it won't be no more argument.
Oh, we'll find
You know what I mean? It ain't no argument after that.
That's the one I hate. I was listening, whose show I tuned in for about 3 minutes on last night. And one of the goof ass niggas that he had on there, one of them said, oh, I'm glad Trump in office, they're going to end all this woke stuff. Then the other nigga said something about the Democratic Party was a party of the slave. That just, and right there, and like how you're being a good host, Kevin. When we say something, you're like, hold on, let me fact check this shit before, you know what I'm saying? Dude allowed a motherfucker to say some goofy shit like that instead of saying, hold on, that party is not the Republican Party of today. You know what I mean? That Democratic Party is not the Democratic Party of the day. Because when Nixon came in office, Nixon turned all those Dixiecrats to Republicans. You understand what I'm saying? So people be like, oh, the Republicans freed the slaves and Martin Luther King was a Republican and this, that, and the other. That's not the Republican Party of yesteryears, the same as today. And MAGA is not the same Republican Party of Ronald Reagan. You understand? It's a big difference. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So when when you hear people say, especially black people, I guess that's why we get so. I was so emotional about the situation when I heard about Nelly and Snoop. I'm like, damn, these black guys like Snoop, crippin' and this, that, and the other, and woo, woo, and you know what I'm saying, and da-da-da-da-da, and and now you performing for this man. I didn't even know about.
You want to hear something really funny? This is beautiful. The reason why something like Snoop or Nelly or whatever entertainer, like we gave Steve Harvey and all them hell when they jigaboo for Trump last time. What's the girl name? Michelle. What's her name? The singer.
Candace Owens.
No. The singer. Chrisette Michelle. She lost her career. She lost her whole career. But do y'all know James Brown, the godfather of soul, campaigned for Richard Nixon?
Yeah.
And was buddies with him, right? Yeah. Even with black people then saying, Godfather of soul, you made I'm black and I'm proud. You black is beautiful. You made this. And James said, I think ahead of time with black folks.
I mean, Jeff Ford went and he met with Richard Nixon.
Well, I ain't talking about.
You know.
I know James Brown campaigned for him, so we're talking about Soul Brother #1. We talking about James Brown.
James Brown married white women though too.
Well, no, he never. No, she was Asian. She was Asian. Never had a white one. Not that he married. Okay. But I'm just saying James was, in terms of being a leader, as a celebrity, somebody who made a social statement. That song, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, shifted the energy. That's the thing that pumped up the Black Power movement. That's the thing that got us mobile, got us polarized, got us mobilized, saying, hey, no, man, I'm black and I'm proud. Like, that was the first time that had been said to white America from somebody who they love. Sex Machine and all that shit. So I feel good. Right? That's JB. And he campaigned for Trump. Eazy-E went to dinner with Bush. Remember people dissing Eazy-E? Ice Cube said, I never have dinner with the president. I never had, right? And Eazy said, shit. He said, all publicity, good publicity for me. I'm a businessman. I'm a rapper. I mean, what Eazy-E taught us about how to make crack songs, right? He didn't teach us about crack, but he taught us how to put it to a beat. So I'm not, when I hear an entertainer, what is Snoop? Snoop has never been a conscious rapper. Now, like I said, his philanthropic efforts in terms of his Snoop Football League and stuff like that, incredible. Snoop does a lot of things for kids in California, I guess. I don't know. I don't live there. But that's cool. I'm sure Nelly has done his share when his money was flowing right in St. Louis.
Right. And see, and that's a good point, Kev. That's a good point, man. Like, look at all the good stuff that he do. You know what I'm saying? So do we just throw this nigga away because he did this at a Trump inauguration?
Snoop's is worse.
Do we cancel his whole career? Do we just stop? Hold on once. Do we stop all the shit he doing? You know what I mean? Do we block the kids from going to his football camps and shit? And for, you know what I mean? And taking advantage of them opportunities that he provide. Should we stop all that?
No. But we should continue doing what we already doing, which is not buying his music. Come on. Snoop's is worse just because of what he said. The video that surfaced that he said in the old footage made his worse. Well, Snoop's was made worse by the video.
I'm wondering, I'm wondering if we way too much invested in this shit.
In him, yeah.
Performing at the inauguration. Are we way too invested in this shit?
A little,
just on that point right there with Snoop, just like, because I'm just saying, like on that point with Snoop, like I could think of NFL players that's in the league right now that came through his league. You know what I'm saying? Like the lives he done changed. Now, just because even if he's showing allegiance to this nigga, you know what I mean, to Trump, like, do we just shut him down?
Well, what I think
he's looking out for the kids in the community.
We need to remind him, Kamar. We need to remind him, even though, okay, no harm, no foul on what he's done in the community, but there does need to be a reminder sent that if you stand with a known racist, which is what most of us are saying, that's why I think Nelly kind of squirmed his way out of it, and I think Willie D let him off the hook.
Nelly different. I don't know what the fuck Nelly do.
Just period. I'm saying, Snoop, when you align yourself with a known racist and you're like, okay, well, it's cool, I did it for the money, then that's a message to us. So when you come back to us with a product, a song, a video, a liquor, a blunt rap, whatever, we shouldn't buy it. We shouldn't. Now, if you say, well, if you stop doing that,
even if he doing, hey, hold on, but even if he doing all this stuff for our kids, black kids.
Yeah, because that's like saying
I'm philanthropy, all his humanitarian efforts.
Yeah, because
to the community.
That's once again like saying,
do we stop accepting his help?
Yeah, I think we should.
Stop accepting his help.
Yeah, because that's like saying you can treat us, just give us some money, treat us like shit, but just do something for our kids. That's what that's like saying, right?
he ain't himself ain't treating us like shit though. I'm just saying, like, really,
I hear you going through it. I hear you going through it.
This shit.
The
That's
only
why I'm
thing,
asking, like, are we like maybe we too invested in that in him?
My whole point in all those
because like it's just every. I feel like first off, right. I feel like every man has a right to think what he want to think, and you know what I mean. Now, like you said, now I ain't saying we need to go support him if he drop an album or do this or do that. But you know what I mean? Like, should we still just be shitting on him and he's still doing so much for the community? As much help as our community need? Like, I don't think he personally is doing nothing against him. He just went and did this performance. He did what he do.
So my answer to all of that, the football program, whatever he's doing, you just stood with a known racist. So once again, the mentality is hey, you can treat us however you want. Like that, you're supporting him basically. You're supporting a known racist. So my thing would be it's almost like the Tuskegee experiments. Like you have a beautiful black college, a historically black college, but what are they doing on the campus? They running experiments on our people, giving them syphilis. So we say, well, should we not support the college when so many people are getting degrees? We absolutely should not support that college because they're doing gonorrhea experiments and who knows what else on the campus.
Niggas still
I'm just saying, like, so it's like, okay, well, it's just like saying, okay, well, you know what a lot of drug dealers do. They sell a lot of poison in the community, then they sponsor an AAU team. So it's like, oh, okay, sell all the crack you want. That's just how I'm, I say, look, if I know you're a coon, if I see that you are with the other side over me, I would find a different program for my son. But some people don't have that option, Kamar. So I'm being a little selfish. Right. Some people don't know how to.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. You know what I mean? Like where he at, where he doing it at. Like they ain't got too many options.
Well, it's
the little kids we working with out there. They ain't got too many options.
A lot of them don't, but at this point, there are a lot of programs. I ain't gonna even say they don't have options, Kamar, because and that whole youth sport thing for parents is a lifestyle. I went through it with my son, right? And so there were many different programs I could have put my son with. You know what I mean? Like, but for me as a parent, I would say, well, who's in charge? You know, what is the culture of the team? Like, how do the parents? Because I even ref Pee Wee games with some teams and some leagues.
You can afford to.
You didn't want to do it. You didn't want to do it. No, I was broke when I did this. I wasn't doing that. My son wanted to play football.
Well, no, I mean, when I say afford, I ain't talking about financially, just financially. I'm talking about like how here it's a little different, where it's more options, there's different stuff. But out there in LA, like we don't know how downtrodden it is out there in Long Beach and Compton and shit. I know I watched that one show and some of them kids, man, they was doing real bad.
Friday Night Tights, or
like it's hard for them to even get the practice. You know what I'm saying?
In some of the most downtrodden areas, there are the programs where you get the most money because they got those kids. Like they have a big, like you go in like Cleveland and Chicago. We played against Chicago teams, and I spoke to one of their coaches. This is a sidebar. They were nationally ranked. They had 3 teams in Illinois as Pee-wees, nationally ranked. And we played in this league. We won the league. We got rings. My son got rings and everything. And what happened was I spoke to one of the coaches after the championship game. And, they was from Chicago. I think it was the Hillside Hurricanes. And he said, yeah, man, it was cold outside. He said, man, we had a rough week, man. We knew we was going to lose because it's been so cold outside that we haven't really been able to practice and kids ain't been able to get to practice. I'm like, we practice indoors. He was like, y'all practice indoors? Yeah, we practice at Mesmer indoors. And everybody, if you couldn't get your kids there, we carpooled and got them to practice. So I hear what you're saying about some of those areas it's so depleted that, financially, I get what you're saying. I guess that's my point. Let me catch the chat room. This is Paris again saying, I think our people are so invested in this because he was against Trump for so long. Now he's performing from him. Yeah, Paris, I agree. That's why I said the video for Snoop made his look worse. The video,
nigga.
Snoop's video made him look way worse. Snoop, that video, that footage of Snoop made him look so bad.
He called himself a coon.
He called
himself a coon.
So that's what I said earlier. I said, no, the video for Snoop really, that's why out of all of those performers, you say, okay. You say, wait, you the same dude who talking about, I'm gonna roast the fuck out of somebody and all this shit. Like, bro, you gonna roast yourself? Times have changed. He changed his mind. Kamar in a different tax bracket now. He said, what about those people who stood with Biden?
Hey, maybe they made him do that shit. Maybe they told him like, hey, you either gonna do this shit, nigga, or your name next on the Diddy list.
Or maybe that might be strategy, Kamar.
Get your ass out here.
Right. Get your ass out here, nigga.
Oh, you're gonna do it. Maybe that's just why.
Come on, Nelly. We want you to.
I don't think that.
Rick Ross, you having all that money. Your money don't mean shit. Come on out here too.
I don't think they had to work too hard to get Nelly, but I think that's why Snoop was just a DJ. He was just DJing his own music.
Just looking at, they said that Trump hardened those people from January.
You never know, man.
That's crazy.
While we talking our shit.
That's real sad right there, man.
He said, what about those who stood with Joe Biden? What about him?
Yep, same shit.
What about him? I mean, if you was all up in Joe Biden, if you was all up in Joe Biden's ass like that, knowing what we knew about Biden coming in, we would have just looked at you the same way. Like, look at this Uncle Tom ass dude.
And really, like, yeah, you could say the same. We could have the same conversations. Again, just like you said a little while ago, Kev, you referenced Ice Cube. I never had dinner with the president. I never had dinner with the president. It don't matter who it is. That's just some shit niggas don't do because they don't fuck with us.
Maybe in other places you hear people try to make. I don't think we've ever said, and I know I never have said, Democrats are better than Republicans. As a matter of fact, I've said for a long time, to me, they're both the same. I don't even know how many different ways I can say that. Because the one thing you can't come on my platform is, and not that he is, not that Jesse is, but I'm talking about anybody. If you just tuning into the show and you hear us talk about Trump and your counter to that is to bring up something about Biden, I'm going to look at you and shrug my shoulders and say, so what you saying? It's the same shit.
I agree.
I'm not right.
I agree. And I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not even Democrat leaning. But when I see Trump as the racist that he was, as a matter of fact, let's be even honest about this shit. Before Kamala jumped in the conversation, Kamar, you remember what we were saying on this show was it's gonna be hard as fuck to decide who to vote for. We didn't want to vote for, but we were against Biden.
Neither one of them. We was talking about who else we had to vote for.
Right. It was like, damn, man. So once she got in, I'm like, okay, well, anybody but. So, and I don't have to. Well, there's no justification needed for it. It is what it is.
Anybody but either one of them clowns. We said that. We said
that's what I said. I said I was gonna vote for Donald Duck. I said I was gonna vote for Donald Duck. Remember, I was gonna vote for Morris Day.
I was on Kanye. I was on Kanye.
Yeah. You was like, I'm voting for Kanye West. Which I was like, oh, well, he's a dumbass too. You like, I don't give a shit. I'm voting for him. So, you know, I think one point we put down is no matter who got elected, I don't think it was going to be Black People Day. I didn't see Kamala coming in. She didn't impress me, and she had all these groundbreaking policies, and once again, y'all pointed it out to me that she's not Black. She's not like us. That's why y'all said y'all didn't want to vote for her. So my hope wasn't necessarily that she would come in and save Black people. I just felt like I don't ever want to be a Black person who stands with a known racist, like standing with him definitively. Like, we can converse, but like, I'm never going to be like, nah, y'all, hold on. Don't do that to him. Like, I'm with him. Like, no, that's never going to happen.
No video defending himself.
Well, he put
Snoop ain't had no rebuttal video.
No, he did an Instagram post, and he took, because you know those AI. If you watch, I just so happen to follow Snoop on Instagram, and he likes the AI soul, like that AI soul music. Like they seem like they old songs, but they new shit is new sayings. So he had one called "I Unfollowed You Unfollow Me" or some shit like that, and he played it like, and basically he was saying, I don't give a fuck if you unfollow me or if you want to cancel me, I don't care. Snoop and Nelly. See, I think that's what hurt black people the most is this whole thing looks like they're saying fuck you to us, to black America. And black people feel offended by that shit. Like, oh, it's fuck us? That's what it seems like. It's like I'm giving y'all all a big middle finger because I got to go get this check. And that's pretty much what it is. Remember in Friday when dude said, I know I was always DC, what's his name? The black dude, Uncle Elroy said, I know I was always the one talking about I love the hood. I love the hood. As soon as I got my check, I was gone. Like, that shit cracked me up in Friday, man. So I was always the one talking about I love the hood.
Right. You know, like you said earlier, Kev, you know what I mean? It ain't our money he chasing no more.
No, not at all.
Even if niggas did say, you know what, we ain't fucking with Snoop no more. He's still good because they fucking with him.
Right. Oh,
it ain't our money. Now, see, it could have fucked his career up if he'd have said, no, I ain't going. Well, I ain't gonna say it fucked his career up, but you know what I mean? They'd have been throwing some motherfucking rocks at him.
This dude was just in the Olympics. He's been up. Dude is a worldwide. I get it, but I just don't think you had a coon for it. I think he had enough clout to say, nah, I'm not gonna do that yet. And he could even made a statement and said, I don't have anything against the president. I just want to see how things are gonna shape out. You know what I mean? Like there's ways to do it.
Said that.
He could have said that.
He definitely could have.
He don't need the money. He don't need the exposure. Like, I think he tried to say, I want to get on the right side of things. So if shit get bad, I'm straight. And that's what he's done. Now he could even say, well, all the advantages that I get from this, I'm gonna use it to help the people. Yeah, all right. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, right? Like
who said that?
I said he could say that. Snoop could say that. Like I'm still
go get that check to some niggas.
Right. Like
listen. To a nigga to a black, go get a check to a black organization in the hood.
I think Kamar put it up. I think Kamar summed this whole point up tonight the best you could possibly say it. And we said this when Trump won. If you voted for him and you're black, fine. If you support him, fine. If you're a black Republican, fine. If you're a black conservative, fine. But don't tell me he's not racist. Don't tell me this country ain't racist. And don't tell me that there's racism here. All those is deal breakers. Mm-hmm. When you go there with me, I'm gonna start saying, see, now I don't want to hear this shit no more. And that's my issue with Orlando is that, okay, if you want to be a Republican, you want to be conservative, that's fine. You want to be a Trump supporter, that's fine. But when you start talking to me about, oh, I'm the one who's stupid, I'm misled because it ain't no racism and it ain't no discrimination and this person ain't racist and that, and I'm gonna say, stop, man. You see, that goes back to what I say. That's why I never try to tell nobody what to think. I just tell them to think. Because you'd be surprised. Once you set somebody mind free, you don't know which direction is going in. So next time you see that person, they might be well, come on, you know, I'm on this or that. Now you be like, damn, okay. I remember when I gave you that first book, brother. Right? You don't know once their mind is open, you don't know where they're going. So
nigga, I'm a monk now.
Right.
Nigga, I'm a monk now.
I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
You know, and we have been saying that though. You know, like if you want to support a motherfucker, but don't give all these excuses and this, that, and the other. You know, like they just the greatest thing on earth and life gonna change and all this. You know what I'm saying? And, you know,
I still like R. Kelly music, but he's a pedophile. Right? I still enjoy Will Smith movie, but he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock. I'm not going to, if you support who you support, right? Like you like Michael Jackson, but you say, well, he didn't do none of them boys. Well, he said he slept in the bed with 12-year-old boys and gave them wine and watched porn with them. Red flag.
That's insane.
Red flag. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't, because I guarantee you this, no matter if I go in a room, if say I take 100 people that know either one of y'all, right? And I go in the room and I get up on the stage and I say, man, Kamar is da-da-da-da-da-da, or Dion is da-da-da-da-da-da. It's going to be 14, 15, maybe even more people there say, but shit, let me tell you what he did this one time. You did what you did. You've done, you can't escape it. So Trump is a racist. He's done racist things in the past. He's a wealthy old white man. He's a baby boomer. That's what I expect him to be, racist and prejudiced. And I'm not that far behind him because I'm prejudiced. If I had a little bit more money, I probably would go into a racist part of it. Like, I'm gonna put a fence up around my land. I want you motherfuckers. I'd be telling look, we got too much money. We done built this wealth up. I don't want no white people coming in here. I don't got enough money though, so I'm just prejudiced. Right now, I'm just pro-black. I'm not anti-white at all. All right. It is what it is. That's why I don't want to waste time arguing with black people about this.
Who was that white guy be on your shit? Because he irks me.
His intention is to irk you.
Don't give him that power, Dion.
He's a racist white dude. I tell Scott that all the time. Scott, you a racist. Scott texts me.
Don't give him that power, Dion. Don't let him see you sweat.
Hey, I've talked to him on the phone before. I tell him you're a racist white boy. Nothing he says surprises me or bothers me.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? So if he says
like
something,
Orlando Owens, man, never let him see you sweat.
Well, if sometimes we agree,
you know what he's doing.
We'll agree, and that's fine. But just because I agree with you on some shit don't mean I'm riding till I'm not what they say, ride or die. I'm not. Now we ain't in the car together just because we agreed on a couple things. When I know that you are a known racist. Look, if he wasn't what I define as a racist, he's smart enough. I'd bring him on the show. We'd have him on. Let's talk. But I can't do that because I tried that once, and Liz Brown couldn't handle it. And then he said something in the comments on Facebook one time, and Kamar lost his shit and was like, "I beat your ass. I will do." And I'm like, I just can't bring him on.
And that was the day. And that was the day to let me know, man. Stop letting this motherfucker see me sweat, man. You ain't even worth all that.
Even
that
though
was the day right there. Foul. You know what I'm saying?
And he was super foul because
he said some foul shit. He said some foul shit about my homeboy.
Yeah. He didn't know. He didn't know our connection to the brother, and he made it. Yeah, that's what it was.
Right.
That's what it was. Right. I mean, and so, but it's you learn. This is the rules of engagement, right? As a black man, right? So that's my thing with Snoop or with Nelly or with Soulja Boy or with Rick Ross. Is like, do we got to start figuring out ways to take care of our business without cooning, without bowing down, without, selling your soul. You got to figure out a way to still have integrity and move. Like, once again, Snoop has enough money to say, hey, nah, I'm cool. I ain't got nothing against him. Like we said, Kamar, that ain't nothing but a tweet. I don't have anything against him.
Right.
But just like he did the whole Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing. He's supposed to be West Coast. He said, I ain't got nothing against neither one of them. I'm just not going. I'm not going to say nothing. So why didn't you do the same thing? Just him behind them turntables DJing to me looked like he didn't necessarily want to do it. But Kamar, maybe there was a phone call made. You don't know. Maybe there was a phone call made. And it ain't no statue.
That's what I'm thinking. Because they want you to look. They want you to look like something. That's why they make them niggas wear them dresses and shit.
Snoop had a murder case.
They want you to look like something. They want you to look like an affable Negro.
Snoop had a murder case.
They want you to look like an affable.
And there's no statute of limitations on murder. So you don't know, right. And I don't know.
They found his bodyguard guilty. I mean,
I know.
They found both of them not guilty.
I know. But once again, we said a backdoor conversation, a phone call that says, hey, I mean, Dion, we just supposing right now. We got our aluminum foil hats on, man.
Boy, y'all too. What you saying, motherfucker? Like, hey, don't bring that back up.
I mean, you never know.
Some shit wasn't right.
Hey, you don't know.
I think. My theory, my far out theory is, a nigga do this shit before you be the next contestant on the Diddy lineup. That's my theory. That's my far out theory.
I got the only copy. I got the only copy of that one party you was at, Snoop. Oh shit!
Straight up, this motherfucker didn't burn up in the fire.
Oh man! Let me
We
see.
need
He
you to
said,
perform at Trump inauguration.
right at the Bitcoin ball. Nothing too serious. You can just DJ your own music, Snoop. All right, man. This some bullshit. Jesse said, "Don't feed the troll." Dion Scott is a racist white supremacist troll. Said sounds
Who
like
said that? Because he won too.
That's Jesse. Jesse's black.
Yeah, it don't make no difference.
He a white supremacist. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he ain't vote for Kamala. He gave all them excuses and shit. Any motherfucker to be talking and then vote for her. That's why we in the situation we in.
Well, hold on now. I don't want to dismiss a person because they didn't vote for Kamala, though. Let's come on, Dion. We don't want to dismiss another black man because they didn't vote for Kamala.
See, that's the part. That's what we gonna fuck up at. We can't stay on code. We can't fuck with them people, Kev. They went against the grain. All we wanted people to do this one time. Let's stick together. Let's get this bitch in office. Once we get her in office, we could kick ass, say fuck woo woo woo. No,
why do you? Well, hold on, D. I don't know if I'm with you on. It would have been smooth sailing had she gotten office. I think there would have been.
I ain't saying it's gonna be smooth sailing. This is the only thing I'm gonna say. We'll see this from this day forward. I don't know what today's date is. Today January what?
20th.
What's today's date?
January 20th.
January 20th. Okay. Mm-hmm. We'll see 6 months from now.
We're gonna see.
How shit going for a year, and then we'll say, of course it wasn't smooth sailing when Barack got up in there.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And they never, like you said, like you and Boo have been saying, and you know damn well I know. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, I know. You know what I'm saying? Like I read, sleep, eat this shit day and night. You know what I'm saying? I know it wasn't about to be smooth sailing when she was up in there. I know it wasn't gonna be no brick road, but at least it would have been somewhat some equality going on. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, they're trying to end diversity, equity, and inclusion. A lot of people up that DEI shit, this, that, and other. DEI ain't all it's saying is, hey, look at other qualified people instead of always looking to the white man.
It says it in the title, diversity. Diversity is what's yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? That's just like the one lady was saying. She was like, okay, would a white man have fought the fire better in Los Angeles than this woman would? Like, white people always think that they could do some shit better when it just would have been the same fucking outcome.
Well,
you understand what I'm saying?
I think we just said that Donald Trump is a racist and he has some racist tendencies because of his attitude. I said because of his attitude towards critical race theory and DEI and all that kind of stuff. That's already established. Like we don't even got to play that song no more. We know he's a racist. Like there's no way on this show anybody can tell me that he's not. Okay.
But Buddy will come on here and say he's not. Like,
consider the source though.
Y'all.
Yeah, we know
he gonna tell me. Well, I forgot what he said because I said it's sad to see all these black men on Donald Trump hype. And he gonna say, "Oh, that was juvenile and this." It's true. It's true. You know what I'm saying? Stop making it seem like this man is gonna come up in office and everything is gonna be, like Bull said, hey, he a piece of shit. His character is flawed, but I feel like he's a strong man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the reasons they gave was just fucked up. We ain't never had a woman lead the country, but a woman could be governor, a woman could be mayor, police chief, all that. So why a woman could be president? You know what I'm saying? What makes him so strong?
I don't think
he's a weak man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think she lost because she was a woman, though. I don't believe so.
I'm gonna keep it real with you.
I think she lost because she was a poor candidate. To me, she didn't. You talk about policy. I didn't hear what she talking about, keeping the cost of insulin down and saying on the first day I'm elected, I'm going to make abortion legal again. Like I'm like, okay. But there's way more pressing issues in this country right now, and I'm not hearing you address. But
what type of pressing issues, though, Kevin?
Well, we got.
You know what I'm saying? Well, because they don't want to end poverty.
Well, hold on. The United States economy is a big issue, and immigration, whether people want to admit it or not, is a major issue. Now, do I agree with mass deportation? No, but sometimes you got to do something instead of doing nothing. And for so long, we haven't done anything. And so I think something had to be done. Now, when it comes to do they want to end poverty, that's not the same as saying the economy itself. That the economy is structured. That poverty is there. There's always going to be poverty. So to say I want to end poverty, that's you can reduce it, but you can't end it because there's always going to be haves and have-nots. I think that when we talk about these tariffs he's about to put out here, now this is a Hail Mary on Donald Trump's part, because you want to put these tariffs on and say, well, the number one thing we want to do is encourage the manufacturing of goods within America again. So
but it's not gonna happen.
But I'm just letting people know what the purpose of it is when they hear somebody saying tariffs and they say I don't know what a tariff is. Basically, what you're going to do is increase the cost of doing business overseas because you believe that it also encourages us dealing with foreign countries and having to accept immigrants and people who are basically derelicts. And with Mexico, like he really wants to go hard on Mexico because he feel like the cartel business and all of that and the illegal immigrants that are coming over here are all criminals. Well, Mexico is saying, bruh, y'all buy most of our dope. Like, yeah, we make dope. Yeah, we sell it, but y'all buy most of it, which is the reason we have a problem. So this is going to be, so that is a pressing issue, right? So the economy is a big deal. Inflation is a big deal. We want the cost of living to come back down. It is a big deal. So
it's never going to come back down, though.
It could. I don't think Kamala had an answer for it. I guess that's my point, Dion. She didn't.
But the thing about it is, though, we just came out of a pandemic.
That's 5 years ago.
It don't make no difference. It's still affecting people now. Still companies still closing. Like in Chicago, my girl worked for Walgreens. Walgreens been a staple of our life since we were kids. Look how many Walgreens here in the city of Milwaukee have closed.
But they didn't close. They're not closing because of COVID, though, Dion. They're closing because of the economy. They're closing.
But you don't think
they're closing? Hold on. They're closing because people's spending habits have changed. They're not closing because of COVID.
But you don't think that COVID has something to do with people's spending habits changing? Just because you can look at it and be like, oh, that was 5 years ago. Shit affected people. That shit is affecting people still to this day.
It had a tremendous effect on the economy. I'm not saying COVID didn't have an economic impact. What I'm saying is at this point in this country, regardless of whether it was COVID or whether it was the innovation of the internet and people saying, I'd rather order my shit from Amazon. Amazon's emergence, okay, eBay, all these online shopping places, their emergence changed shit too for a place like look at Kohl's like from here. They're saying they're gonna close down underperforming stores. Ain't no Kmart, ain't no Sears, there's one JC Penney's, ain't no Gimbals, ain't no Boston store, Foot Locker's reduced. Every major retail outlet, retail is struggling above all now in America. I know this because I have some retail dealers.
But they online sales probably is different though.
Yeah, but if you ain't cornering that market, you ain't reaping the benefits of it. So you got some giants on there who killing everybody else off.
Well, I don't buy my shoes from nobody. I don't buy no fucking Nikes from Amazon. I'm gonna buy my shoes from Foot Locker, Finish Line, goddamn JD Sports, one of them other ones on online. I might not go in a physical store, but then we also got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? See, then we also got to look at it like this, though. You know what I'm saying, though? We got to move along with time. Time has changed from brick and mortar stores to ordering things online. Like everybody keep on talking about AI. Wait, hold on. I know, but hold on, okay. So now, 20 years ago or 30 years ago, AI was just like, maybe it was something that the government had or it was something we seen on TV. Now you hear more people talking about, we got to move into AI. Times is changing. And if people think, say for instance, right, I think you got Toyota here, Nissan, but they all down south in the southern region. Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, because down south, they don't have unions. But if you getting a pair of socks made over in a different country, and then fuck it, we ain't even got to say that. We just use like Briggs and Stratton. They moved their company down to Mexico. So if I could get goddamn lawnmower put together in Mexico, I don't give a fuck how much tariffs you put on there. If I got this same lawnmower assembled here, like they was up there on 124th off of Burleigh, it cost me damn near with paying people for sick time, overtime, this, that, and the other, that same lawnmower. Just because I want to support America, that same lawnmower costs double what it costs to get
You know
made
why
in
it's not
Mexico.
going to cost
It
as
might be.
much? Because the unions don't have the power that they used to have now.
I know.
So
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
not. So that overhead is not going to be as great as you think. Now I will say this too. I think the American, like when it comes to car our industries and all this stuff, they are partially to blame for the state of our country because, like you said, they did outsource. They did send those factories away. That took away jobs. Look at Detroit. Look at Milwaukee. Look at the Rust Belt. These are all large companies who they did. I'm going to send it to Mexico and let them do it. And they got profit over profit to the point where they had so much money and they failed. You ever read the book or seen the movie Too Big to Fail about the American auto industry? And they still got bailed out. They still got bailed out. So if somebody gonna swing the stick and say, nah, you motherfuckers got to get in line and empower America. I know I sound like a Trump. I sound like a MAGA, right? But I'm talking about it's the hard cost of doing business. And so you saying, hey, and listen, large companies, Dion, not what you just said ain't accurate. If it's costing too much for them to build that shit with them tariffs, they gonna stop doing it and say, fuck that. I might as well just build a factory here and take the loss, as opposed to building it in Argentina. So no, I think we gotta wait and see. This is one of those things we gonna have to wait and see. Now they're saying that prices are gonna go up before they go down even more because of the tariffs that this is what your country signed up for, though, Dion. You got to respect the office, like Nelly said. You got to respect the office. This is what we're about to see.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I respect that office.
I get dual citizenship, and I was thinking about looking over there in Ghana somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's real talk, though. No bullshit.
I just missed the call because I had the phone. My phone wasn't up on my thing with me, y'all. Jesse said he just called. I missed your call, man. Hit me back. We got a few minutes because I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. He said times are changing. And we are no longer on a Democratic plantation. All of the shaming, blaming, and explaining isn't going to change that. Dion, he was directing that towards you. He said the Democratic plantation. So Paris, call in and tell me this. Since I hear you and I hear other black people talking about how we showed them. But if we still voted 80% Democratic, are we not still on the plantation? We still voted 80% Democratic. The rise in Republican voters is not that great. Are we talking about the ones who didn't vote? Because then I could say, okay, I see you in that regard. I can see you in that regard. But we still are pretty much on the plantation. I think we are. I think black people are still strongly affiliated with Democrats. And I think Republicans got smart and said, we're going to stop pandering to them and just do our thing. And that'll attract some of them to us anyways. And that's what happened. Democrats was still pandering. Republicans was like, fuck them. And I guess that made black people say, I want to be down. Right? Like Brandy. Mm-hmm. So but it's still the increase was now if it was 50% or 30%, you know, like that, but we talking about damn near 80+% of us who still went to the polls and said, hey, I identify with the Democrats. So I don't know that we're off a plantation yet, but I think it might be a step in that direction of us saying, okay, let's unattach ourselves. Unattach, is that a word? Let's unattach ourselves. Jesse, is this you on the line? Because you got to turn your device down because I'm getting an echo.
Are you still getting an echo?
Didn't when you said something. I didn't at that point. No, I'm not getting one now. What's going on, brother?
All right, peace to the Outlaw. I find it hilarious that we're literally arguing over one white supremacist over another. At the end of the day, both the Democratic and Republican parties represent racism and white supremacy. They're two wings of the same bird. I find it hilarious that some of our people tend to think that Kamala or Biden or whoever is somehow better than Trump when they have their whole political career passed legislation that directly harmed our people.
Okay.
And then to say that I'm a white supremacist because I didn't vote for Kamala Harris, that's just ridiculous. Like, You act like I'm obligated to vote for just because they put her up to it. Nah, I ain't beholden to no party. I ain't gotta give an obligation to no party. Ain't no party obligated to us either. Our vote is for sale to the highest bidder. And FDA proved that, whether you like it or not, this past election cycle. Past 6 years, we've been doing the same old thing, expecting a different result. And that's insanity. Voting blue no matter who, voting for the lesser of two evils, at the end of the day, it's still evil. So, ain't none of these mothers offering us nothing. Like I said, and I'll stand on it. Kamala didn't have no policy. And the bullcrap policy she called herself coming up with at the last minute was a carbon copy of what Biden had already had with that lift every voice plan back in 2020. I know because I've been well researched on all the candidates. I literally am in the realm of politics. I'm not telling you what I read. I'm not telling you what I seen on TV. I'm telling you what I lived and what I experienced working on campaigns and as a candidate myself. So, like it or not, we're not voting just to be voting no more. We're not going to get fear-mongered in the voting. We're not going to get shamed, blamed, and explained in the voting. Them days are over. Save it for the boomers. Save it for the silent generation. The millennials, the Gen Xers, the Gen Z, we're not on that type of time no more. They want our vote. We don't care what party it is. They're going to have to do something tangible for us. Otherwise, they're not going to get our vote. The days are over of the symbolic gestures and the first black this and the first black that. And, oh, I put a black in my cabinet, or I gave you a job and all of that bull crap. We're not going for that no more.
Okay.
So take it how you like. We don't really give a damn no more. And as far as being on code, if you ain't read the compensatory code concept by Nubby Fuller Jr., you don't know what being on code is. And we be trying to get mothers up to speed on what being on code is for at least the past 10 years. So don't sit up here and talk about the code and you don't even know about the code. Come on, we need to get on code. How you gonna get on code when you don't even know what that is? You voting for a Hindu Bedouin, a Brahmin East Indian, just like Gandhi, that had anti-black hatred, racism, and sentiment, and went out of their way to make life hard for black people in California. And we've literally had our West Coast correspondent, Pakistan Corey, who lived in California, lived through all her policies, and knew firsthand, and somehow she was better than the orange man. I'll say it again. Call me a dump supporter or whatever, even though I clearly didn't vote for the dump. I voted for Cornel West. But call me a dump supporter if you want. I didn't vote for him in 2016. I didn't vote for him in 2020, and I damn sure didn't vote for him in 2024. But I will stand on this. He didn't pass no policy while he was in political office. Because I like, not you specifically, but people like to bring up the Central Park 5. He wasn't even in office then. And it was the Democrats that went out of their way to railroad those young black, and I hate broad ambiguous language. Black and brown, I don't talk like that. I don't talk like people of color either. I don't do that. I really stick to what Dr. Claude Anderson said. That shit don't benefit us at all. But for the sake of conversation, black and brown youth, it was the Democrats that railroaded them. It was the Democrats that went out of their way to make sure them young men did not get out and were falsely accused. Just like it was the Democrats that bought you the KKK. Just like it was the Democrats that bought you Jim Crow. Just like it was the Democrats that were architects of mass incarceration. So if we're going to tell the truth, we're going to tell the whole truth. And we're not going to sit up here and cotton pick and pick and choose on who we going to hold accountable and who we not going to hold accountable. I don't recall none of these people that's speaking out against the dump as inhuman shit. And we want to make that perfectly clear, holding Biden accountable for the police Accountability Act.
But
for the
hold on,
police and that.
Jesse.
I'm
Hold
not
on,
done.
hold
I'm
on.
not done. I didn't interrupt
Hold
you.
on. No, hold
I
on.
didn't
You know,
interrupt
you hold on. I was letting
Oh,
you talk.
I'm sorry, Kev.
I was letting you talk. But I do want to say a lot of people have held Biden accountable. We have held Biden accountable. Nobody's ever dismissed any of his racist behavior.
I'm not accountable how.
Nobody has ever given Trump a pass. At least I haven't, and said, well, he's better, or the Democrats are better. I understand everything you're saying, but I think there's a different platform that you could go on and say this to, because nobody here is under the belief that either party is better. Like long before, I don't even know if you had even picked up on this yet, we had coined the phrase party poopers. We've been on the radio here, local radio here, terrestrial radio, saying, matter of fact, I've lost opportunities in this city to be on radio because I've said we're nonpartisan, because we don't favor the Democrats or the Republicans. We believe they're both the same. It's like you just said, it's the same wings of the same bird or something like that. So when you say stuff like that on here, it's like, okay, yeah, we agree. Nobody's disagreeing with you. I don't know if you just want to express it, but nobody on here has ever taken up for him. I said that I didn't like Trump because I felt like he's a racist white man, which I still stand on to this day. And I didn't want to align myself with a racist white person and say I'm going to vote for them. I didn't want to do that. And I wasn't going to vote for Biden. The only reason that I would say I would vote for Kamala is because she was in the race. Like Morris Day, who I would prefer to be the president, wasn't in the race. So if I voted for him, I would have wasted a ballot. So, it just comes down to people having the right man to say and think however they want, as long as they're thinking. You know what? I'm more impressed by a person who has an opinion than I am by a person who say, Kev, I don't know shit about politics, man. That's why I don't fuck with that shit. Because those are the people we got to worry about. Those are the people who are uninformed. Those are the ones who are going to be more easily led astray than anybody else. It's the person that doesn't have an opinion. It's a person that doesn't have a perspective. So that's why people say, well, we should be talking about this stuff now. A lot of conversations we need to have in the community, and we should be having them consistently. Like when we start to talk about, okay, what's really ailing us? Well, the family epidemic, the fatherhood epidemic, recovering from mass incarceration, dealing with Black economics, supporting an entrepreneur like Kamar, or supporting a Black candidate in office who stands for our best interests. Like you just said, you have been a candidate who was for the people. So those discussions should be about us. Once again, it comes down to us talking about what we need to do for us. And if somebody has a different opinion, then it's just like, all right, man, you welcome to your opinion. You leaving? Yeah, I'm leaving. All right, man, y'all let dude out. Let's jump him. It's like, all right, man, let him go. I just think we need to respect each other and say, hey, man, because I hate to hear us talking down on each other. I guess that's what I hate. I hate when we talk down on each other. Like, shut your ass up. Like, because I could have came on here and called Snoop a coon and Nelly a coon and all this shit. Nah, man, they just dudes who got a different opinion for me. And this is how they pay their bills, man, by dancing on stage. We always talk about buck dancing. They get up there and sing your little song, Nelly. It's getting hot in here. Oh, he's such an entertaining Negro. Snoop, say bow wow wow. I'm bow wow wow. You be yo, you be yay. White people like, oh my God, that's hilarious. That's what they are. Like they are the epitome of dancers. So we shouldn't be looking at entertainers like, I'm so disappointed. Why? He's an entertainer. It's like that's what he does, man.
Right.
That's when I realized when I was about 22 years old and I was a senior in college, and Lord knows I love football more than anything on this planet. And I came to a realization one day in practice that totally changed my perspective. It was my turn. I was in line to run a drill, right? And I looked, and the white man looked at me and blew a whistle. And when he blew the whistle, I went off running through the cones. Come on, Bars, work harder. I was jumping over bags and shit. I said, dude, I'm a fucking monkey. I'm a trained monkey. Like, these motherfuckers got me up here. Come on, they got me up here running around cones and shit. So that was when I said, I'm done with sports. I'm cool, man. Ain't no, I'm not finna get $1 million from this shit. I'm about to take this degree home and really get some money, some other type of money. I just didn't want to be that no more. So when you are a performer, you are expected to perform, man. You know how many times I had white coaches tell me we're about to play these dudes, and one of them might call you nigger, Mr. Barnes. We don't want you to get a penalty. I used to be like, there's no way I would ever let a white man explain to me why I won't get mad when another white man called me nigger, and I'm getting a penalty if they say the shit to me. They used to have my ass standing next to them on certain plays on the sideline, like, hold on, don't put Barnes in yet. Because they know goddamn well if they seen the shit, Barnes, come to the sideline, because I was going to retaliate. So it's about mentality. It's about us knowing that we ain't your grandfather's Negroes no more, and let's just capitalize on it. All the energy we put in going against each other, imagine what would happen if we put all that together and just did for self. We'd be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't get when I look at Orlando, and we've all heard Orlando on this show doing the straight soft shoe. But he's a black man. You got a black wife. You got a black son. I know him personally. So, I just say, man, this is unfortunate that you drink the Kool-Aid like that, but you're still a brother, man. So I ain't mean to cut you off, man. Continue. You can finish what you were saying. I just had to, because when I hear you say, like, all the stuff you're saying is correct, I'm just like, nah, but we all agree with you. So it's not like we like, oh, shut up, Jesse. Well, you and Dion got issues, but that's between y'all.
Yeah, thank you for clearing that up, we don't have no friends. All we have is interest. So whoever's gonna do what's in our best interest, that's what we should vote for. If ain't nobody gonna vote in our best interest, then don't waste your time.
Okay.
And don't just focus on the presidential. Focus on what's happening at the state and local level. That's what's affecting your day to day. I wish people cared as much as what's happening in their local and state elections as much as they care about the dang president. You get the president every 4 years. You'll only see him every 4 years. But you see your councilman or your alderman every month or every week. You see your council, you see your mayor every week. You see your governor every week. And the governor is like the president of the state. So I wish people took more interest in what's happening at the local and state level than what they do at the presidential level.
Well, let's see what kind of energy we're gonna have for midterms, because that's coming next, right? And so we're talking about the balance. Yeah, we started talking about the balance of the House of Representatives, which is supposed to be, checks and balances, so the dude can't do, what all of the foolishness that he wants to do. If you get that when you affect the power and say, well, no, y'all ain't the majority anymore. I'm personally looking at my people because I want them to keep that same energy. So I agree with you. And we always hear on local shit, like, yo, the local shit is what's popping. Like, you can't blame the mayoral election on the electoral college. You can't blame the gubernatorial. Right. You can't. That's us getting out there putting them ballots in. Unfortunately, we live in an 86% white state. So when it comes to the governor, it's hit and miss. But the mayor, but we have a generation of, I said I was going to be nice to black people, y'all. We have a generation of civil rights Negroes here. And they still respect the affable Negro. Who asked that question when Trump said he's one of the good ones? I mean, we still have, and those are the people who vote. Because let me tell you, this young hip out here jump off the porch crowd, they ain't voting for your ass. Come on, how many local? Nope. We don't have one election cycle. We had all challengers here. We didn't have not one incumbent, right? We had everybody who was challenging, and people was in the chat room. We love you. We love you. They signed a petition. We love you, and they did not vote. Of us got their ass buried, all of them, except D.C. Crowley. He was elected as the first black county executive, but everybody else got whooped. And we was like, damn. After that, me and Kamar said we ain't even gonna fuck with politics for a while. I think we went to having rappers on here and all kinds of shit. We just, because it was so frustrating.
Yeah, that's around the time you had Mac Mom on.
All Mac Mall, Big Mike, all these dudes, man. MC Shan. I just went to trying to get interviews because I didn't want to do politics no more. Because like I said, I watch people. They'll say, "Yeah, brother, I got you. Yeah, man." But they won't vote. They're not voting.
Yeah.
So I want to get these Gen Xers, my generation. I want us to become informed voters, but I want them to know about both parties. I don't want them to know about just one. Know about both of them.
Right.
So when we start having discussions like this in the barbershop about policy, have you ever listen to the debates in the barbershop a lot of time? Like a lot of times the dude who's winning don't be knowing what the fuck he's talking about. And in my mind, I just be thinking like, damn, that's wrong what he just said. I just don't want to get jumped, right? So just like he don't know what the fuck he's talking about, man. I'm telling you now, I be reading the news, man. Dude, you ain't read a newspaper since the newspaper read you. Dion, you still on the line? Because you got a lot of comments in this chat room. If you on the line, I prefer not to read them. Are you still on the line? I think Dion hung up. He said, "Fuck us." He hung up. Come on, how you feel about all this, man? Because it's 9:47. You know, I try to keep it. You know, we owe people. We got to get sleep.
To wrap it up.
Come on, what you got on this, man?
Well,
what you got?
Man, shit. It is what it is. I mean, you know what I mean? You know me, man. I never felt like it mattered who was in office for me, because I'm still gonna wake up tomorrow and do what I got to do, like I do every day. You know what I mean? To make this shit happen for me and my family. You know,
Okay.
like I don't. That's why I said, like, maybe we too invested in all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because this shit ain't gonna pay us nothing. It ain't put nothing on our tables. No matter who's a coon, who's not a coon. You know what I mean? Ain't none of that shit doing nothing for nobody.
Right.
Like maybe we too all invested in those conversations and not invested enough in what we need to do.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it.
Focus on us.
And maybe we are. Like, I ain't saying nobody ain't invested in themselves, but you know what I mean? But again, you know what I mean? Whoever was ever in president, we still had to get up and go do our best.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's what I feel like we got to do every day, no matter who's in president. With Donald Trump in president, if Biden had been president, if Kamala had been president, it was going to be the same shit for me next day.
Still got to get to the Sherman Phoenix, right?
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
That's
you know what I mean? Like all this banging on each other, on each other over how we feel and what we believe. And you know what I mean? And all this shit. All for what? Well, we still got to get up tomorrow and go do our motherfucking best.
So what is this, 2025? Okay, so I graduated from undergrad in 1999, and I've been working a job of some sort in some capacity with a couple layoff periods since 2000. So this is 25 years. So how many presidents has that been? That was Dollar Bill. Was that Lil Bush? And then that was
Baby Bush.
Yeah, Lil Bush.
Clinton, Baby Bush. On Sambo. That's what I call him.
And Trump twice, right? And Trump, right. So the one thing that's been consistent with this entire 25-year stretch is, like Kamar said, I done had to get my ass up and go work. I'd had to go and grind. I couldn't
the next day.
I couldn't use like who was in office as an excuse. I couldn't use what party was, the Senate majority. My babies didn't care. It was like, Daddy, what you got? You know what I'm saying? That's why I've always said, like, as a black person, you're gonna have to persevere anyways. Right? Like, we can argue about it, but I haven't seen. Now, if this is the age where Trump comes in and his presidency is so dynamic that I can say, what? Look, this dude actually improved something for black people. I'm gonna give him his credit. I'm gonna say that racist motherfucker pulled this shit off. But if this shit's so
still racist,
yeah. But if it happened to go downhill,
but he did that shit.
He did it. What can you do? You give a man his just due, right? Like R. Kelly's, like I said, he's a pedophile, but man, Home Alone is still a hell of a song to me. But no, I'm just saying, man, like, we go as black people, we got to buckle down anyways, and we got to get every new administration, even when, like my man said, even when Obama was in office, that's the most optimistic we've ever been, even though I've seen polls now that say black people are at an all-time, I think they said 82% of black people right now are hopeful, according to their polls, that the country will get better under Trump. So, You know, that's us though, man. We always, you know, we glass half full type people. We be like, shit, I hope for a better day. Lord, please. Lord Jesus, please. So Jesse, you got some final stuff you want to drop on us before we bounce, man? Or did I lose Jesse too?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead,
So
man.
I also hear. So under old Sambo, we was told hope and change we can believe in. So we was never told what the hope was or what the change was. We didn't find out what it was until he got in the office. So it's later for the symbolism. We're not going for the symbolism. If we're going to participate in this illegitimate process known as United States politics, or as I call it, politricks, because it's a game and a gambling with people's lives, all that I ask is that you demand something tangible for your vote.
Okay.
I'm not saying you got to go vote, but if you want to go vote, at least demand something tangible from the candidates that are seeking your vote at the local, state, and federal level. The problem with Osambo, we didn't present him with anything. We didn't have a black agenda then. We got a black agenda now, but back then we were just so happy to be there and live vicariously through him and his wife and kids. And we thought, oh, well, we can live vicariously through them while he sat on his hands and let the race soldiers gun us down with impunity. So I think Trump is so spiteful that just to spite the Democrats, he would cut the check for reparations. Because like I said earlier, he said that we built this country and we proper due or recognition for it.
Well, we damn sure gonna see. We are damn sure gonna see. And that's the waiting pattern. I think it's funny that even back then when Obama was saying change and everybody was saying, what does that mean? I think I said it on Outlaw Radio. I said it means come help a nigga get elected. So that's just the way shit goes, man. Hey man, shout out to you for calling in, man. I be checking y'all out on YouTube a lot of times. I just don't be saying nothing. I be in the comments. I just be listening. So one of these days I'll jump back in with y'all, but I'll be checking y'all out, man. I still be checking y'all out. I think one night I came on there and said, what's up or something. And then, but you know,
yeah, you did.
One night it's like, I mean, tonight it's like Arctic cold up here. So, you know.
Oh, it's Arctic cold up here too.
Yeah, so
over here.
My ass be sleep. I got to go out here and turn my heater off in my clubhouse, and then I'm gonna bring my ass back in here and do what old men do. I'm gonna give me some shut eye. But man, thank you for calling. Shout out to you and Shabaka.
Oh yeah, make sure y'all check this out on Frontline Black News if y'all still up. I'll be going live in about 2 hours. Me and Shabaka and Lady K.
Are you back into People's News Network so you can post in there again?
I'm still completely blocked from Facebook. I'm pretty much banned from all social media except YouTube and Twitter. And every week, Twitter locks my account. I just have to unlock my account. So, I ain't messed with Facebook since before the election. They shut all my pages down, locked me out, and all of that.
Well, I know that Zuckerberg said they got rid of the fact checker, so it's supposed to be a more free platform now. So we'll see. Trump said that's what he wants, so we'll see. Earl Henning in the chat room.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, now. Earl Henning in the chat room, he said no black people will never get it in terms of reparations. He said portrait of anyone, black people. And this is Dion saying, man, get the fuck out of here. And if anybody believes that they're gonna fall for a black agenda, they're a motherfucking fool, plain and simple. Listen, man, that's what I say, man. We get to arguing about the argument, but it's all good. The good news for y'all is we'll be back Wednesday night. So if you heard something tonight that pissed you off or offended you, please let me know. And tune in Wednesday night and prepare to be pissed off some more. It is what it is. Rock, you tuning in late, man. Rock, you go back and listen to the show, Rock. I see Rock in the chat room. He said top of it. Kamar, it's just a week, right? Like it's you open through this Arctic crackle, man. What you doing?
Yeah, actually tomorrow the Sherman Phoenix gonna be closed, so I'm just gonna be making more products, working on more products.
Okay.
Getting ready for Wednesday. I just found out the Sherman Phoenix gonna close. The text just came through, so it looked like we ain't gonna be at the store, but y'all can still give me a call if you need me.
I know my job will say, hey, if y'all got to travel, work from home, but I'm right down the street, so I ain't got no excuse. I got a couple meetings. I think I'm gonna cruise down the road in the morning and go to work. Right, well, I'm not gonna get on.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I would much rather be there. You know what I'm saying? Much rather be there, man, because I know people need me. It's cold. The motherfuckers sick out here, man. You know what I'm saying? They be coming looking for that hot elderberry tea.
Trying to tell you, get you some citrus.
You know, it is what it is, man. But you know.
Well, I tell you what, man. I'm like I said, it's always a thrill to do this. I love it to death. It's why we do Outlaw Radio. I want to say be safe, keep your head on the swivel. If you can stay out the cold, stay out the cold. When I go out, man, I'm like an Eskimo. I got like on 7 layers, man. So I'll be as safe as possible, and I hope y'all do too, man. In other words, thanks for tuning in. Hey, I think I found an editing system, so you'll start seeing some clips of the show playing. I'm working because I'm learning this software, but I'm some and it breaks it down, so it's broken down into topics. So just be looking out for that, man. And like I said, man, if you could be anything in this world, be a person of action, man. Don't let your criticism of this community outweigh your contribution to it. If it does, you're a coon. And I'll see you Monday, man. Peace and love.